Welcome in, everyone. Today's video, we're going to go over the flow feed on unusual whales. We're going to kind of touch on what's on the flow feed, how you can customize it, and just how you can access other data from that area as well. So let's get started here. So first, we are at the unusualwhales.com here. To access the flow feed, all you got to do is come up here to the flow data, come under the flow data here, and you'll see your flow feed. So under your flow feed, and I have watch lists and all this stuff made already, so it's gonna look a little different for new people when they start with unusual whales, but this is fully customizable. So let's kind of start on this side, and we're gonna work our way over, and I'll kind of touch on all this stuff too. So first up, if you're in a different section too as well, if you just come back up to the options data here, you can just access the flow feed from right there if you're under something else. So two ways to access that, from the main site and then from here. So looking at our left side here, so this is where all your filters will go, and learning to filter unusual whales is probably top priority in my opinion, just to know what good flow is versus bad flow. So this is kind of how I have it set it up. And unusual whales does have some preset watch lists as well. So like if we looked at, let's look at the large bearish flow just to see. So this would be a custom one. So here's your large bearish flow, and of course you can always sort it by time, premium, size. I'll get into this as we kind of dig a little deeper here, but I have two custom watch lists, and I'll show you how to make those as well here. So here's your, let's say you're looking at NVIDIA. So let's say you wanted to actually create a watch list here. Very simple and easy. So you would kind of pick your settings here as well, kind of put in your premiums, and I'm not going to dive super deep into how to find the correct premiums and all that in this video. I do have another video on that as well if you'd like to check that out, but you have all your premiums set here, and it's very simple. All you can just come up to save filters, and you can save it to the current watch list, which is the one what I'm in right now. Otherwise, you can create a new watch list here and then just simply save it there, and then it would just be accessible right in here. So let's kind of touch on everything on the side here. So you have your side. So you have your bid side, mid side, ask side, and no side filters. So what I like to do, I like just keep ask and bid side on, just so you can kind of see the, I would say, more clear flow versus mid side and no side. Like if I'll show everybody here, let me knock these off quick, and I'll just put on no side just to show everybody. I like to filter out the not good flow, I'd like to say. Kept bid side on. So like here is, you had the no side on, this is flow that I don't like to pay attention to. So put these back on, and actually easier, I can just come back up here, flip that, come back to master flow list here, and it'll just populate all your stuff there. So that's kind of a quick little visual on how to do that. So moving down the left side here, so this is where the fully customizable part comes in. Obviously you can select what side you want, and this would be your chain activity. Let's say you want a certain percent of ask percent, bid percent, skew, bullish, bearish, premium percent. Just some customizable stuff you can do in there as well. And if you only wanted to see, let's say you just wanted to see calls, you can just hide your puts right like this. And my internet is very slow. This is not the platform, this is just my internet. So like here we hid the puts, so you're just seeing all the ask side call volume here. So, or ask side and bid side call volume, because I still have bid side on up there. But you're just going to see all the call stuff, so you're going to see ask and bid side calls. So let me take that off. And the other thing you can do with unusual whales, which I don't usually typically do, but I usually just search for the one company, but you can search all the flow at once. So this is where some of these other filters come in, and I'll just kind of touch on that here. So like here's your other So this is me filtering out that ticker, and you can search for 2 or 3 tickers at a time. I'll kind of show everybody here in a second about that too. So you have some SPY flow, QQQ flow, Tesla, and another thing you can come down here again, which is fully customizable. You can filter out your ETFs, indexes, ADRs, stocks, whatever you want to do. Again, fully customizable. When it loads here. So here you are. So the filtered out SPY and all the SPX stuff and all that. So you're just gonna see regular underline or regular companies. So Nvidia, RCL, Google, just to name some there coming up. So that's another way you can kind of look at stuff. And below here, so this is the very, very important part in my opinion. So this is where learning to filter and learning to kind of what size of premium you're looking for and all that here. So let me pull up, I'm going to pull up Nvidia and Apple here. So, because I want to show everybody how you can search for a couple. So you have Nvidia, and then if you want to search for like 2 or 3 at a time, then you just throw that comma in between. So Apple next. If I could put in the correct ticker, that would help. So yeah, while this loads, I'll kind of keep touching on this as well. So obviously you have your premium and all that in here, and you can kind of do your size. Like if you want to look for something that had 1,000 contracts traded only, or if you're looking for a minimum to a maximum amount of contracts in here. So that really helps. So okay, let me do this now. So here would be Nvidia and Apple. So again, you can search for 2 or 3 at a time or filter out. And if you wanted to filter one out of that big main list, all you have to do is put a minus in front of that. So here is your Nvidia and Apple flow. So Nvidia, Apple. So if you were just looking, wanted to see 2 companies at a time, you can easily do that there. So moving down here, obviously we're kind of touching on this. So if you wanted to do, let's just say, so this is Saturday. I'm making this video, so obviously you're gonna see some -1 days here because everything expired yesterday. So let's say we wanted to see everything that came in just yesterday. So you could do 0 to 2 days expiration end, and it'll just show you everything that's in that or in that time range for that premium. So here you go. So obviously this stuff expired because it's the weekend. We're not going to be open. So that's a good way that you can filter if you're looking for specific dates and all that as well. And if you're looking for volume here, let's say you wanted to look at, like, if a company had so many contracts traded that day. So, and if you're looking for certain strikes, certain spreads, out of the money percentages, and earnings and all that. So again, this is fully customizable in here, which is really nice. So coming down here, obviously more customizable stuff for Greeks. So if you wanted to see certain Greeks with a higher delta, etc., all that stuff. And if you're looking just for sweeps, cross trades, floor trades, or just normal trades like this, you can obviously do that in here as well. And just some other stuff in here. If you wanted China stocks, if you're looking for the volatility, if a dividend's coming up. And the other important area that I kind of like too, you can filter out stuff here if you want trades to come across if the volume's greater than the open interest, size open interest, if they're opening trades only. If you're excluding deep in the money, you get the idea here. So if you want to hide expired trades, so kind of stuff in there if you want to show the canceled trades that come across with the strike in the middle sometimes. And then the other filtering part here, obviously you have your sectors. You can filter it by sector as well too. Your industries, exchanges. So kind of just some other stuff there as well. And at the top here too, and this will correlate up here on the flow feed as well. So if you go into the settings, you can figure or you can configure which columns you'd like to show on here. So if you wanted to remove or add in all the Greeks, etc., you can easily do that up here at the top, and then it'll just populate here at the top. So, um, and also another little trick or another little hidden trick that I like. If you want to save a contract, like let's say this NVIDIA one, you see this and it sticks out to you, you can just easily heart that, and the next day or right away, if you just click on this My Trades area, they'll be saved in here. Obviously, you can see I had one saved from earlier in the month, so they will all save in there for that. And I'm going to actually delete those one in here. So coming back to the flow feed, so come back out of My Trades. So touching on the overall flow feed here. So let me just go back to the master list here. And you can just see how that quickly just populates everything and populates my premium and stuff as well here. Show you when the internet catches up. Yeah, my area we don't get high speed internet, so not running the best internet. So yeah, you can see how that kind of pulled in my premium that I have, and then my day's expiration. And if you have this all filled in, it'll just pull it in automatically, and you don't have to sit there and type it every time. So looking at the flow feed here, so starting here, and again, this would depend on what you have here as well showing. So like I have the time and I'm central time, so I like to see what time things are coming in. You have your ticker here, and it's going to tell you which side you're on. And again, this will all come back from your filters on the left. So it shows you the contract, how many days to expiration, but the stock was trading at that time. The bid and ask spread here for what that contract was, what the spot price was of the contract, the size of the contract. You can see your premium, the total volume traded so far that day on there, the open interest on the contract chain that day, kind of your chain bid side ask premiums. And the other good thing with unusual whales too, if you just hover over these, it's gonna give you a little explanation of what the stuff is. So if you come over here, hey, this trade is part of a flow alert. Hey, the daily volume on this chain is higher than the current open interest. They put little subtle things in there to help you catch your eye without making it hard to find. So kind of looking there, you get the little gist of all that. And you can always come up here and sort too. I always do it by time because I like to see what time things are coming in, obviously. If it's closer to the end of the day, like something like this is interesting to me. So you can always sort it by premium though. Hopefully you can sort it by premium a little faster than me, but so this would put all the obviously higher premiums at the top. So trades you may be looking for that are interesting, obviously you can sort it that way. And if you wanted to do it by size, it's going to bring all the bigger size trades to the top here. And this stuff at the top obviously is what we're waiting. Just kind of, it's going to give you some little details on volume, premium. Oh, yeah, you can see it's slow. So you can you get some other data up here as well. So like you can see that did it by size. So here's your biggest size trade on NVIDIA that day. So 2735 contracts traded. And I'm not going to dive into the trade, obviously, but you get the idea there. So, and also you can always change however many results you want to see for the page as well. And if you click on the view more here, you can also pull up some other stuff on the ticker as well. So you get a quick view. You can see the top 5 chains by volume here, your cumulative volume across for it'll give you a date range and stuff. Just some other little data in here as well that can be useful to you. some options activity by the expiration year, so you kind of get some data there. Your top 10 floor trades, which may be useful to you as well. Your top dark pool trades there as well. And that again is very easy to get to. You can just, that's just right here in the view more area, and you can always check like earnings and all that here as well. It'll pull up kind of the historical stuff on that, so you can kind of access a lot of stuff from the flow feed here as well. And if you just click on the ticker as well too, pop open a new tab and it'll bring you the full overview. So we're not going to dive into the full overview and all that, just kind of want to touch on the flow feed and the things you can find there. So otherwise, that's all I have today on the flow feed. So hopefully, if you're a beginner, this helps a lot. I also do have a referral code for unusual whales. I will drop in the video description if you're interested in trying unusual whales. Otherwise, everybody have a great day.